So we did unfortunately miss the first pick. We do believe it might be a Caustic Exhale though. So when we see him going through, we'll be sure to keep an eye out for that one and make sure. So definitely prioritizing removal if those are 2 exhales.
Yeah, so what this team typically likes, what they've been, yeah, what these, when I was at the house and they were testing, what they were basically trying to do in a lot of instances was draft a 4 or 5 color dragon deck, prioritize all the cheap removal spells, Molten Exhale, Dispelling Exhale, and also the Caustic Exhale, take some globes, and then take a bunch of good top-end cards with some card draw. That's kind of been their recipe, and that's kind of what they wanted to do, and it's been paying off for BK. I believe he was 5 colors both drafts, and it's been going incredibly well for him.
He's been looking, he's looking at that Dragon Storm there too. Thornwood Fall's another consideration.
That would be an early Dragon Storm. They also take lands extremely highly. All right, and you can see he's already trying to enact this game plan. It's like, you know what? This has gone super well for me already. Maybe we can soft force it unless something else is super duper open.
Is that an exhale in hand? Yeah, that's the one that we saw past.
Yeah, there's a Piercing Exhale, but there's also Sig Appraiser. That card is fantastic. Also, in the types of decks, when you draft the kind of the 5-color Dragons decks, oftentimes you don't have enough cheap creatures to play. So Piercing Exhale actually gets a little bit worse just because you don't have anything in play to fight. So I could totally see just taking Sig Appraiser here instead. And yeah, look, I went over there. This was the setup, by the way. It was LSV, Max Smith, and Andrew Baeckstrom. They all had computers, and basically when one person finished a draft, there was a huge TV that it was playing. Somebody would immediately join another draft. So I would just see a draft every 45 minutes, 30 minutes, and it was incredible. And at some point we all just kind of drafted the same way, and
that's cool. Love it. I would love to see what goes into testing house prep and all that sort of thing. There's Wingblade Disciple.
Yeah, great card. There's also a land, but Disciple is just a really, really good card in general. You don't have to be the Flurry deck. You just need 2 drops.
Yeah.
You just play this on turn 5. You play this with a 2-drop, and all of a sudden you just get an extra token. So it's just a card that, but just face value, it's just a really powerful card that you should just look to play in any deck.
Yeah. Alrighty, we got Gurmag. Forgot their names.
Yeah, a weaker pack here now for Baeckstrom here. Nothing you're super happy playing in this multicolored strategy here. Champion of Doosan is a fine filler level card. Cruel Truths is okay, but I don't like taking it very highly. There's so much good card draw in blue. The Truths is not really where you want to be. It's probably the weakest of the card draw effects. You'd rather have Focus the Mind. You would love to have something like a Rakshasa's Bargain, Bewildering, Blizzard, cards of that nature.
Formation Breaker, Unburied Earthcarver, Sarkhan's Resolve, also Duty Beyond Death.
Yeah, just none of these cards are particularly
jumping out
exciting.
At yeah.
Formation Breaker you could maybe just play because it does have upside if you do end up with a deck that has a bunch of counters, and it's a 2-mana creature.
Yeah, it's a decent 2-drop.
Now, remember, H1 is passing to Baeckstrom, and so you're not necessarily going to see a whole bunch of good black and white cards being passed to BK. All right, so this is interesting. You have the choice between a land here, right, a Gruul land just for mana fixing, or you could take something like a Focus the Mind. But again, I saw these players draft a lot. He's going to take the land here. They take the lands very, very highly. Basically, it's if you don't see a good removal spell in the pack or a bomb, they're just going to take a land. That's basically what basically they were drafting at the house the whole time.
Sweet. Couple of not so great picks here. Also looking at that Mox Jasper.
Yeah, the Krotic Nest Guard might be something to consider. Just taking the Jasper. He's like, I don't want to play any of these cards.
If he ends up in like Dragon Soup, that's not bad.
No. Hey, you know what? It's fine. It's a sweet card.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're gonna probably take the Pummeler here. Definitely a really good defensive creature.
Yeah.
If your opponents are curving out, this thing just is a great blocker, and then it also has some applications in the late game as well. Really helps against opposing Dragons decks.
If he does end up in blue, Unending Whisper would be sweet with the wing. The Flappy Bird Maker.
One really important card here for BK to pick up in order for it to really make this archetype work are the Dragonstorm Globes.
Yes.
It just makes your mana fixing so much better. No Dragonstorm Globes inside, and only one land, I think. So BK might have to actually be reasonable here and maybe settle in on a wedge instead if the mana fixing is not available.
Yeah. Couple fillers coming in as happens at the end of pack 1. So now the players will get to look at their...
Yep. First pick was a Caustic Exhale
Yeah.
here. And, you know, this is just exactly the type of decks that I've been interested in drafting as well at the beginning. The thing I love to do in this format is start blue-green and see whether or not I want to go into red or black or possibly both. And here, it looks like we're kind of a blue-green base here. We do have a red removal spell and a black removal spell. Depending on the types of dragons that I open and the type of fixing that I get, you kind of try to land on your third color.
All the things he's not interested in, looks like are going to the back.
Yep.
So, yeah, very much a green-blue deck. And
I have no
let's
idea
see
how.
what's next.
Yeah, I have no idea how BK is organizing his cards here.
Me neither. I'm like,
there's an Exhale there up next to the land.
I think he's
then there's
going
a Wingspan.
in.
There's a Molten.
He's going in mana.
Luis,
Mana value.
can you fix this
I'd
when he gets back?
Well, I mean,
Just not the drafting. He's an excellent drafter. He's in the top. And I'm just saying this. I don't even know what's happening here with the sorting.
it looks like it's in mana value order, right?
Yeah, usually if it's an unplayable, you just kind of get rid of it. But anyways,
Fair.
let's move on.
You can go and submit your complaints later.
Oh, he's not going to listen to me.
No.
No shot.
I've never met the guy, but from what I have heard, no, he will not. Alrighty, pack 2. Something good. Let's see if anything flips this draft on its head.
And the nice thing about drafting this style of deck is if there's just anything good, you just take it and
Yeah.
figure it out. Oh, that
that's
is
good.
whoa! Hey, I remember when H1 got the Warden, I was like, it might have been a double rare pack. That's exactly what this was.
Yeah.
All right.
Jeez.
We are going to slam Meringue
Meringue
River Region. This is one of the best rares in the set. This card is fantastic. 6 mana for a 6/7 flyer. Enters a battlefield, bounce 2 things.
It's gross.
It's so good. This is the type of card I basically almost never cast the Omen side of this unless
wanna
I
play
just absolutely need to hit my land drops. You want to play this card when you can.
Jeez.
But the fact that you have that flexibility, like for example, even if this wasn't an Omen, this would still be a bomb, right?
Yeah, it's
just
so
a 6
good.
mana creature that bounces 2 things. So this card is absolutely amazing. Also, by the way, you can bounce your own things with this,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
which is not always the case with these blue cards. Yeah.
You can bounce one of yours, one of theirs.
Yeah, if you have a good come into play effect, you can bounce that as
Can
well.
you imagine having the Whirling Stormbrood as well? Do this at instant speed?
Oh my gosh. You don't need to, but yes.
It would be fun to, though.
Oh, okay. All right.
Pickleback.
So really
Howdy
interesting
doody.
mana options here. Sago Wildling, also very good. Don't think he's going to take the Ice Climber here. I think it's probably, I don't think his mana is going to support Revival. I think
Yeah.
you can look at Caustic Exhale or the Bivouac here,
Yeah.
or the Wildling. Those are the reasonable things. It looks like he's probably not looking to be black here. Maybe just stay in the teamer colors here because he doesn't have that exhale up very high. So it looks like he's looking to probably take one of these mana fixing effects. Now, if you want to be teamer, the Bivouac is probably better.
Oh, you can see he's...
But the Wildling does give you fixing for all of your colors,
Yeah.
and it acts as a dragon for all of your exhale abilities.
Yeah, and also if you get up any more, finding more Dragon Storms, an excellent way to
Yep.
replay them.
Absolutely. Oh, and we're going to slam that one. The Guardian
Jeez, this
is
thing
the
is so
reason
good.
to kind of, it's one of the ultimate payoffs to be in teamer. This card is fantastic.
That's so good.
It's just, you play it and you just feel so safe. It's
Yeah.
got hexproof.
Yeah, what you gonna do
Yeah,
about it, opponent?
absolutely.
It's the only creature on your board? Okay, strategic betrayal.
Yeah.
That would suck, but...
There's not even really another option here, to be honest. I think we're just going to be slamming the Guardian here and move into a nice little teamer Dragons deck here.
Yep. Karakek Guardian joins a pretty decent deck so far. Lots of fixing, pretty decent threats.
Yeah, so a lot of good top-end stuff
Yeah.
here. Once again, BK, any globes?
Yeah. Any
Ooh, but
globe
Fresh
gamers?
Start actually is a premium
This is
removal
sweet.
spell. He's just reading the card. He's not going to take that. Well,
If anyone was gonna, it would be him, but
yeah.
he didn't, so...
Yeah, I think this is just a very, very easy fresh start here.
Yeah.
This type of deck has inevitability in the late game. Good troll there, BK. We all know you're going to take the fresh start, though. Really, really good removal spell, especially the... and I like that they've been doing this a lot, too. The blue removal spells. Losing all abilities is so big.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, another land.
Yeah, red-green land. Oh, yeah, just going to take the red-green land here. Nothing really coming close, to be honest. Your teamer, you want the lands. There's a Stormstreak Feral, but that's just like a fine dragon.
Yeah.
You'd much rather have just good mana fixing here, I think.
He'll probably get another one of those down the line.
Yeah. The common dragons are typically not too difficult to pick up, so.
Rugged Highlands. And the pick here. So 2 very different archetypes being drafted here. And, that's what you want to see if you're sitting next to someone.
Yeah. But it does look like Andrew is settling into just kind of just a straight teamer deck here for the most part. Oh.
Hey, hi, hey, howdy. Hey,
all right.
Hi.
I mean, you're the Dragons deck, and if you want a late game card, you take it. Now, it is possible to have a teamer deck that's a little too clunky. So when you take this, like, you recognize that this is going to be one of the few big things that you can do. At this point, you really don't need to take anything else that's really expensive here. BK really wants to shore up the early part of his mana curve.
You know what's funny? He passed that Draco Genesis twice because we saw.
Ooh,
hey,
Songcrafter Mage.
nice.
And a land here. Now, how many removal spells does he have? He did have the Exhale here. I know he's looking at the land as the other consideration here.
Yeah.
Songcrafter Mage does have a lot of upside. He has to think about the types of spells that he has, but he's taking it here.
Yeah.
It's really good card.
It's got flash. It's a 3/2. You get stuff back.
Yeah, now it's just like the card he wants to open most, if it's not a rare, is probably just like a Molten Exhale.
Yeah.
Right? Just to be able to have another good 2-mana play here with the Songcrafter Mage.
Yeah, and having something cheap harmonize is awesome too. So.
Absolutely. So War Effort, normally a very good card, not a teamer card. Typically not the type of card that you want to play. You could take a Boulderborn Dragon. If you get the blue uncommon creature that searches for both a globe or a dragon, you can take it. Yeah, typically not. Typically not a card you want to take unless you have a globe and just a lot of dragon synergies to go with it.
Dragonstorm Forecaster, that's the one.
Oh, Teamer Tawnyback. So again, here, I actually think Teamer Tawnyback might be correct, but they love Bewildering Blizzard. They're going to take it here. But I will say they have a lot of top-end stuff here, and you don't have a ton of ramp. So it's a good card, but Teamer Tawnyback is also really good, and you can play it cheaper on curve. I don't know. I think that's actually closer, but he just kind of slammed that Blizzard.
Romu's Routine might be decent.
Yeah, just cheap things.
That's kind of
now. Bewildering Blizzard is a really sweet card to flash back with the Songcrafter Mage, maybe.
Yeah, but
draw
that's
the
not
cards.
a bad one if we're trying to go dragons.
The Embermouth Sentinel, especially if your mana's not great and you don't have a ton of 2s, you kind of play it if you need to. Although I would just prefer to play a Sultai Devotee, just because if you do pick up any bite spells, it just interacts. So it's just a better creature, right? The other one's just a 2-mana 2/1.
Sure is. Hey, Snake Scavale,
hey,
sweet.
There's that.
See? Passed it again.
I can't believe it tabled.
Yeah. No one else is playing dragons. There's no believers in this pod.
Right.
What is this, the top 8 of a super cool event? Yes, it is.
Yeah, sure seems that way.
Disciplined drafters. Psh.
All right, so no shortage of power here. If BK ever just plays against another slow mid-range deck, I think he's going to have a massive, massive advantage here. The question is, can he handle a deck that's looking to attack? Right? If he plays against a Mardu deck, if he plays against a Jeskai Tempo deck, how are things going to go?
Yep.
Right? So that was pack number 2.
I think
his deck looks
go.
Sweet, but we do have another pack to go.
Yes.
I do want to see how this story ends.
It was built by itself.
Hey, wait, look. It was a sweet value. It's like, can you imagine if that was like the stipulation?
Wow,
You only get 2 packs. You get to top 8. But, yeah, anyways. just looking at the deck full stop, like I was saying before, really, really good late game. Does need to shore up the early game.
Yes.
You absolutely still need to respect the early game here.
So a Teamer Monument, a Glow would be awesome.
Well, more importantly, just counter spells and removal, I think. Just all the exhales, especially the blue and red ones, are the ones that really stand out. Now, the blue one, maybe not. It depends on kind of what your mana base, like what your base colors are. If you're a blue-green base, then obviously the counter spell is very, very good. But I think Dispelling Exhale would be something that he takes over most cards, I think, at this point.
Spectral Denial would be neat, too.
Yeah.
With the size of creatures he's aiming to get. Teamer Devotee was fine.
Yeah, it's fine if you really need it to. Not necessarily where you want to lead, but the Dispelling Exhale specifically is just so strong, especially in this deck that's got a bunch of dragons. It's almost just a hard counter.
Yeah.
Right.
It's it's an excellent card, and if the players are wanting to get games over quickly, they may not always respect the exhales, where
Yeah.
they just jam. Tap out and jam and hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah, but solid, very, very, very powerful deck here from BK. Like I said, at this point, can always use more mana fixing,
Yeah.
right? So if you can pick up, he's going to look to take some lands for mana fixing, maybe some globes, and then just some cheap plays. You have Bewildering Blizzard, you have the Carrot Tick, you have the Dragon Storm, the 5-mana Dragon Storm, so and you have the River Regent, right? You have so many
Meringue
top-end
River
cards.
Regent's so good. I hope we get to see it played. That's all I'll say.
With all the card draw, he's probably going to find it. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay, pack 3. What is Andrew Baeckstrom gonna pick? Let's take a look.
Dispelling Exhale, Molten
Yeah.
Exhale, another War Effort.
No, no, no.
Oh!
Are you kidding me?
All right. Well, you know what? I think he's going to take that one. Yeah, it's a dragon. It gains you a bunch of life when you play all your other
And
dragons.
it finds lands.
And it ramps you, right? Like
No,
compared
no,
that to
no.
Roamer's routine, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, that is an incredible open here for BK. Just opening back-to-back dragons in your dragon deck.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Let's just make Brian Kibler jealous.
I guess I'll take that one.
Yeah. Oh.
The one that stabilizes me.
You know,
5 toughness flyers are excellent. Gets me lands. Man.
Cultivate on a stick.
Yes.
Sure. Why not?
So good. Okay.
Well, starting off well here. Let's see if we can top it, perhaps. Who knows? Maybe. Oh, okay. Oh,
Okay.
2 good options there.
Another really
3.
expensive card here.
Yep.
I guess you take it, but man, we have how many 6-drops now? That's 2 Character
many.
Guardians, a Blizzard, and also the Regent.
Yes, Meringue region. Yeah.
It might be correct to take the Piercing Exhale
Yeah.
just to have some stuff early, but maybe you just take this dragon. But I am a little bit concerned about the mana curve of BK's deck.
Yeah.
Not concerned about the power.
Oh yeah, no.
It might be the most powerful deck at the table. He is taking the better card, but man, you can have a lot of hands here where you just have to mulligan just because you have too many expensive cards.
I just realized Breaching Dragonstorm is like, yeah, I will cost anything in your deck. So if he gets to that and then can just keep replaying that and hit all the dragons.
Oh, that is perfect.
Lovely.
Yeah, do you really need to take an 8-drop? This is a Glacial Dragon Hunt pick. You have to take the Glacial Dragon Hunt.
I agree.
I know that Death Begets Life is good, but you have 2 Karaka Guardians,
Yes.
a Meringue River Regent. You have all those cards. Take the cheaper removal spell to go into your deck.
Yes, you need to survive to get to play all these cool things. Please. Please.
He's Whoa, my gosh. Okay.
Yeah! You were going for it.
We are ramping. We are going big. Andrew Baeckstrom,
Ain't no
do
coward.
not play against a turn 1 Mardu devotee.
Whoo! Oh boy. This
Wow.
is good. Oh, hey, that guy.
Yeah, but he has
He's
no.
got nothing
he has,
to hit,
he has,
though.
he has no. Well, he
Yeah.
has the Boulderborn Dragon, but that's it.
Oh, did he pick one up?
Yeah, I thought he picked one up late, but I'm not sure. But yeah, nothing cheap to cast here.
Yeah, I was it.
Uh,
Jeskai Monument's not the worst.
Yeah, it's definitely not the one. Maybe
2 of the colors.
you could also take Twin Bolt if you just feel like you need a cheapy interactive spell. Maybe that's the pick here.
Yeah.
Or you just take this and hope you get an orb.
Fingers crossed, I guess.
Or a globe, rather. Okay.
It's also a decent-ish body to block.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
Protect your life total a
It
little
is a
bit.
cheap card to play. I don't think you're going to play it without the globe, but if you can find one.
Yeah. Payoff.
All right, so there's Dragon's Prey. Oh, he needs a cheap removal spell. Might just take the Channel Dragonfire here as a way to just kind of... He doesn't need an Effortless
No.
Master by any means.
Absolutely not.
Could also take Dragon's Prey if you're already going to splash black. But is his mana fixing even that great? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think he's picked up any black dual lands. But
Okay, all right.
He's going to be ambitious.
So blue-green, splashing red, splashing black. Now we're just going to really be prioritizing cheap cards and mana fixing. That's all BK needs at this point. And he sees a 6-drop. Well, Dismal Backwater.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely going to take this given what we've seen him take here. Slam dunk. I mean, he also does have a Caustic Exhale. right?
Yeah, he does.
So he's got Caustic Exhale, Dragon's Prey, and the Death Begets All as the black cards. And then for the red, too, it might not be too heavy. We did see a Molten Exhale, a Songcrafter Mage, and a 2 Heretics, right?
Yeah.
So it's mostly blue-green base with some red cards and some black cards.
Yep. Flamehold Grappler.
Oh, Appraiser. We're going to probably...
Zigzag.
You're not taking the second Dragonstorm, are you?
Are
Man.
you? Oh,
I mean, if
man.
he gets like Tron on turn 3, all these cards look really good.
Yeah,
but
there's a Durgar Island
no,
Dragon as well.
Yeah, I know. But the Appraiser just smooths out your... Oh, my gosh. Whoop. Okay.
All
Never
right.
mind. We are going super big here.
Love it.
Double Breaching Dragonstorm.
But you know
with
what?
all
I actually like this because all of his top end is disgusting and can be cost with that for free. So if you have 2, you double your chances of getting it, right? That's how math works.
Well, yeah, I mean, look. If you draft a Breaching Dragonstorm deck and you just play only 5 drops or more,
Yeah,
then
you're
you
gonna
will hit all gas.
So much good
The
stuff.
issue is you might be dead before you get to do this.
Paul, you got to believe, man.
Well, you know, hey, BK's a friend of mine. I'm
You gotta be
certainly
a
rooting for him. I'm certainly rooting for him, but man, I am definitely still very concerned about the mana curve.
Fair. This poor Stag. I don't think I've seen anyone take him.
Yeah,
It's no good.
If you absolutely need a finisher, but if you play a Stag in your deck, if you play the Stag, you know
First time for everything.
something went wrong.
Yes.
That's kind of how we look at the
if you
Stag.
play it for sure.
Yeah.
But we saw it get drafted. Good job, buddy. You weren't picked last on the dodgeball
Oh,
team.
you got to get picked. Okay, probably taking a land here. Oh, there's also
another
an
encroaching.
encroaching Dragonstorm, which gets all the fixing, and his curve is really high.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Just Dragonstorm Tribal here.
Love it.
Maybe if he
Didn't get
just
the blue
talks to
one,
his
though.
opponent and goes, hey, let's have an agreement. None of us play anything until turn 4.
Yeah, that'll go well.
BK will win 100% of his games if that's the case.
Oh, man. Picking up the Trade Route Envoy. Don't think that's going to get played, but this is a super top-heavy deck.
The power level over 9,000.
Yeah.
For sure.
Whew. Okay. Well, Andrew Baeckstrom drafting something on the opposite end of the spectrum that we saw Michael Atron draft, where he's trying to stick low to the ground.
We got a 2-drop.
Well,
We got a 2-drop.
probably not by will.
Right. Yeah, it's not particularly strong here, but hey, and he got a sideboard card here
Yeah.
last pick. So, this deck,
Yeah.
if BK doesn't play against anything aggressive,
Yep.
it looks extremely impressive. Nobody will outvalue
Oh,
this
no.
deck.